Hey guys, this is part 2 of my Captain America Civil War video. It's been taking a while because, like, if you guys heard or saw last week's video or Tuesday's video, I was extremely sick and it was really hard for me to get through all the points that I wanted to talk about. Today I'm feeling a lot better. Honestly, you can still hear all the like mucusy things, but I digress and we'll get through it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about certain things that I didn't get to talk about in the last video. And yeah, I've been giving you guys some time to go watch it. If you guys have not watched it, please go out and watch it. It is such a great movie. Yeah, and such great character development. I honestly really like that movie. So yeah, without further ado, this is a spoiler warning. Just telling you guys, spoiler heavy video. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start off with Spider-Man. Spider-Man in this movie is so great, and I just wanted to say Tom Holland is such a great Spider-Man. Like, to a T, this is Spider-Man, and he does such a great job. And I like his little interaction with Iron Man. I think that's really good, especially when they're in the room and Tony Stark's like, "Can you actually see through the goggles?" He's like, yeah, I can see. And he's all trying to take away all his stuff away from Tony, which is really awesome. And I like his little things like, "Oh, we gotta go to Germany," and he's like, "I have homework." I think that was so funny, and I'm like, I understand that fully. So yeah, and him at the airport scene fighting Bucky and Falcon, I think that's so funny when he's like, he keeps talking through the fight, and Falcon's like, "Dude, you know that there's not this much talking when you're fighting." And I thought that was so funny. And I don't know if I talked about it in the other video, but there's a scene where Bucky throws like a truck at him, and he's like, "Hey, sir, you dropped this," and he throws it back at him. I thought that was so funny. He did such a great job. And his little interaction with Captain America when they're fighting, and he's like, "Oh, you got heart, kid," and he's like, "Where you from?" He's like, "Queens." And then Captain America was like, "Oh, Brooklyn." I thought that was funny. His after credit scene is really cool. I kind of talked about it in the other video, but I'm not sure if you guys could hear me in the other video. So in this video, I'm just gonna kind of gloss through it. He is pretty much like with his aunt, and they're talking about who hit him and stuff, and he's like, "Steve from Brooklyn," which is honestly Captain America, and he's scratching his web shooter, and appears like this Spider-Man sign, which I thought was really cool. And then it says Spider-Man will return, which we all know will return for Spider-Man Homecoming, which I am super excited about because I'm honestly very excited to go watch that movie. And I talked a little bit about Zendaya being in that movie also. She plays Michelle, which I have not actually read all the Spider-Man comic books, so I'm not very aware of who Michelle is, but here's hoping she does such a great job because she's so good at what she does. So I am very excited to actually see her outside of like the Disney Channel thing. I mean, it's still Disney, but I'm very excited to watch her do her thing on Spider-Man. Also, let's see. A lot of people are talking about Ant-Man. Ant-Man is really funny in this movie. I like how he comes off as a like fanboy. You know, he's like, "Oh, Captain America." He's like, he's like freaking out. I like that. I like that a lot. I didn't watch Ant-Man, and I still haven't watched it, which is pretty bad because I honestly really did like his character in this movie. So I have to go back and watch it for sure. But yeah, I really liked his interaction with Tony Stark when they're in the prison and he's all trying to be a part of it, and Tony Stark's like, "Sorry, who are you?" I thought that was funny. Sorry, I have my little beauty blender thingy, but I never know what to do with the hands. Anyways, yeah, I really liked him. The airport scene was really cool. I liked how they are all fighting each other, and then you see Hawkeye and Black Widow, and they're not actually fighting each other. I thought that was good because they established it in the last Avengers movie that they are super tight as friends. So to see them fight each other really kind of felt awkward for me, at least. But I liked how she was like, "Oh, we're still friends, right?" And he's like, You know, it all depends on how hard you hit me. And I thought that was good because I really like their chemistry and their friendship on screen. I think it works very, very well. So yeah, and I actually like Black Widow in this movie. A lot of people hated her because she kind of switches sides and stuff, but I honestly like that. And I know I said in the last video that if my parents were fighting each other, I would want to do whatever I can to help both parties. So I feel like that's what she did, and I feel like she is us in that sense that they're both right and you don't know which side to go towards. So I actually like that. And I didn't talk about Zemo last time, but Zemo in this movie, his family gets killed in Sokovia, so he wants revenge from what happened and stuff, but he knows he can't go against the Avengers one by one because he's human. He's not as strong as anyone else. So I feel like he's such a genius. He made them fight each other instead of him taking them on one by one, you know, breaking them apart from the inside, which is really, 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 really smart of him. So I honestly didn't think his character was all that great, but you know, it was a smart character. And I know there's like this excuse me, there's like this other Winter Soldiers out there, and I feel like the movie was long, but they like to make it shorter and maybe, you know, better, they could have like taken out the other Winter Soldiers and maybe put something else in that sense. I know that the Winter Soldiers was kind of like his reason to bring Iron Man and Captain America and Bucky to the same place at the same time, so that Iron Man can see this video of Bucky killing his parents. But I just felt like they could have used something else instead of other Winter Soldiers because they weren't really used. They were kind of just killed off right away. So they could have used something else. I mean, that's only my opinion. I don't write these things, so I don't know. But let me know down below. Did you guys think that was kind of a waste of time? Because I certainly did. Yeah, I didn't talk a lot about Bucky, but I love Bucky. Oh my god, he's so good. I love Sebastian Stan. I honestly do. Each time they bring Bucky back, it's a different side of the character. And the first Avenger, he's kind of like that best friend who's like, you know, don't do something stupid, I have your best interest and stuff. And then in the Winter Soldier, he comes back all badass, kind of like doesn't really have any lines. He's kind of just very mysterious, and you know, he looks super badass. In this movie, he comes back and he has a lot more dialogue and a lot more interaction with Captain America, which I really, really liked. And I really, really like Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan together, which is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I really, really like them together, especially that scene in the car where he's like, can you move your seat up? And then Anthony Mackie, the Falcon's like, no. And he like tries to scooch over to the other side. I thought that was funny. And I can't wait for them to use him in other movies. I know that he is scheduled to be in 9 MCU movies, and he's only done 3, so we still have 6 more to go. And I am hoping he comes out in Black Panther. Seriously, because if he doesn't, that is a waste of a character, a good character, and a very, very powerful character. So I honestly hope that he kind of fixes him and stuff. And I know a lot of people have been saying that Bucky takes on the mantle of Captain America, and he does in the comics, but I'm not sure that's the way they want to use Bucky in this in the cinematic universe, especially not so soon. Also because Falcon's in this also, and in the comics he is Captain America too, so I feel like they're kind of trying to tease us a little bit more with Bucky and Falcon, which is good because it keeps us on our toes and, you know, expect the unexpected. I would love to see him dress up as Captain America. I feel like he has such a great presence to him, and it would bring that different side of Captain America that we have not seen. We've only seen the patriotic Captain America, the Captain America who's for the better good and for justice and all that stuff. And I wanted to see a darker Captain America, something different than we haven't seen before, and I feel like Bucky is the right person to bring that to us. So I honestly hope he does, grab the mantle. But if he doesn't and Falcon takes it, I'm okay too, because I think Anthony Mackie is such a funny character, and that would also bring something different to Captain America. So either or, I am good with either one of them taking the mantle. But as it stands right now, I'm pretty sure Bucky will, just because Sebastian Stan has 9-movie contract. And speaking of which, let's go to Iron Man. Iron Man in this movie is such a great person, I feel, because you get to see him as a human. You know, he feels super guilty about what has been happening, especially with Ultron and all the damage that caused in Sokovia. He feels super guilty, and you get to see a different person, and I love that. I don't know about the whole Pepper and him thing. I feel like they could have used something else. Maybe she's not around or something, she's doing something else. I feel like they could have used that, but oh well, that's their story. I really liked him. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, talk about War Machine, and I will talk about War Machine at the end. You know, he gets blasted by Vision because Vision's trying to shoot at the Falcon, but the Falcon moves and stuff, so it hits Rhodey, and he falls head first and becomes paralyzed. My only issue with that is we've seen other Iron Man movies, and I feel like it would have been a smart choice for Captain America to perhaps put in a parachute. But I mean, whatever, right? The story has to go on somehow, and I feel like it's a good thing that he was paralyzed and not killed off, because I feel like once there's too many African American characters in one movie, they always have to kill off somebody, and I am very glad they didn't do that this time, because I honestly really like Rhodey. We have 3 African American characters in this movie. We have Falcon, Rhodey, and Black Panther, and they're 3 different characters. They're not the same characters. They're not stereotypically the same person, and I like that. I like that Rhodey is this, military dude who's kind of like, very, very focused on what has to be done, and I like that. And then you have Black Panther, who is this warrior king sort of thing, very royal, and he's very focused too, but he's very wise also. So I like that. And then you have the Falcon, who's kind of like the comedic side of it, and the best friend, and he's really funny and stuff. And I like that. I like that they're 3 different characters, and that they are not all the same stereotypical black friend. So I like that a lot. Yeah, at the end I felt like it was just like, it was good that they didn't kill him off, because I feel like he's a good character. But I just feel like that's flawed a little bit, seriously, because I mean, who wouldn't put a parachute inside that suit, especially because it's supposed to be metal and really hard. But whatever, it is what it is. And like I said, this is it for me. This is part 2, a little bit more in depth. I don't know what else you guys want to see from me. This is for this week, which is 2 videos for you guys. You can go ahead and watch part 1, and this is part 2. I don't know why I said that again. Just don't judge me. I have to go to work in a little bit, so I don't know. But yeah, that's it from me. Bye.